Hello everyone and welcome to episode 6, part 2 of the best places to eat at mini vlog series. Now today is the second part of episode 6 and also the final episode of this series. We have been through such an incredible culinary adventure in these episodes, and today we are going to finish off with the longest list there is, the table service restaurants at the resorts. Now last week's episode we did talk about the best quick service places and also the best places to get snacks at the Disney resorts. If you would like to watch that before watching part 2 today, you can find that video right about here in the I button or linked in the description below. So let's jump right into it. The first restaurant that I want to talk about is the restaurant that has quickly become my #1 best restaurant on Walt Disney World property. It is absolutely amazing. I'm talking about California Grill. Now, I mean, where to begin in terms of California Grill? Everything about that restaurant is absolutely amazing. The atmosphere, man, you walk in, you see the beautiful restaurant, beautiful chandeliers, then you sit down and you look out the window and you see Magic Kingdom beautifully there. Then you can go outside, get an amazing view of the fireworks from Magic Kingdom. It is absolutely amazing. I love the atmosphere of California Grill, and on top of that, the service is some of the best, if not the best service I've ever received at Walt Disney World for both dinner and brunch. Everything about the service was absolutely amazing. The servers, super friendly, super kind. They were making sure everything was okay. In terms of the dinner service, they waited for us to finish our appetizers before bringing out our entrees. Then they waited for us to finish our entrees, and then they brought out the desserts. We showed up less than an hour before California Grill closed, and yet they still took their time with us. They let us go at our own pace. They didn't rush us at all. It was absolutely amazing. And then brunch, our server, super awesome. And both of them, they had like this cool shovel that they pick up the crumbs from the table. I know it's such a silly thing to like just have your mind blown over, but it did. I mean, I've never seen that before. And then they come, there were some breadcrumbs on the table. She just comes, floop, floop. I'm like, what? I mean, that was the only thing I could think about for like 20 minutes. And now the food. The food in both dinner and brunch was some of the best food I've ever had at Walt Disney World, and also some of the best I've ever had in my life. Whenever you go, whether it's for dinner or for brunch, you will not be disappointed, I promise you. Now for sure, me and my family, we are definitely going back to California Grill in our vacation. And when I go, I'm going to do something I've never done before. And when I do this thing, I feel like its place, its #1 spot on my list, just going to solidify. I mean, it's going to get even further away from #2, which is Le Cellier. If you'd like to know what that thing is, you're going to have to wait until the vlogs come out. Maybe I might spoil it in my Instagram stories, so go follow me there. But in the vlogs, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now we are heading off to my favorite resort on Walt Disney World property, Animal Kingdom Lodge, for the next 3 restaurants. I know, all the restaurants at Animal Kingdom Lodge are absolutely amazing and they all deserve to be here. So let's talk about them. And the first one that I want to talk about is Jiko. Here in Jiko, I had the best steak I've ever had in my life. It's their filet mignon with their 4-cheese macaroni and cheese, and also that South African red wine reduction sauce, which is just absolutely spectacular. The steak itself, super tender, it melts in your mouth, seasoned perfectly. Then that 4-cheese macaroni and cheese, some of the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had in my life. And then you add that red wine reduction sauce on top, which adds a bit of a sweetness to it and complements everything. Then you just dig in and get a big forkful. You get the steak with the red wine reduction sauce, some of that macaroni and cheese, and just eat it. That is heaven right there, and I would go back to Jiko every day just to have that steak. The next one on my list is Sanaa in Kidani Village. Now Sanaa does absolutely everything right, and it's one of the few restaurants where I'm gonna recommend actually going to eat during lunch rather than dinner. Now for lunch and dinner at Sanaa, the menus are relatively the same, but one big difference stands out. During lunch, the sun is out, so you can actually look into the savannah, see all the animals while you're eating. It's super awesome. When it's dinner, it's too dark, so you can't see anything out there. It's just pitch black. So I do recommend going during lunch, watching the animals walk by as you eat. It's such an awesome thing to do. Right, so you're sitting down in Sanaa, you're looking onto the savannah, seeing the animals, then the food arrives, right? First you ordered an appetizer, which is the king of all appetizers in all of Walt Disney World, the Sanaa bread service. everything about this bread service is on a whole nother level of amazing. Right, in the bread service, you get 5 huge naan breads, which are absolutely amazing. All 5 of them are different flavors, and they're all awesome. Then you get the 9 sauces, which are awesome as well. Then you combine them together, and the flavors that you get from that are absolutely amazing. And not only the flavors, but also the creativity that you have combining sauces with the different types of breads. You get different flavors from the same dish. It is absolutely amazing, and it takes my highest recommendation. For $18, it is definitely worth it. And then for entree, there's my go-to, which is a poke inspired entree, and my go-to there is the butter chicken. That butter chicken is absolutely amazing. It is heaven for me. It's heaven in a little tiny metallic bowl. That's the best way I could describe it. It's out of this world. It's what I always get. I could eat that butter chicken a million times and I will never get tired of eating it. It is spectacular. So when you go to Sanaa, get the bread service, get the poke inspired entree dish, get the butter chicken, you will not be disappointed. And on top of all of that, the service that I have always received in Sanaa is absolutely spectacular. It's some of the best service that you're gonna find on Walt Disney World property. So Sanaa just gets everything right, all right? Just head over there, trust me. The next one that I want to talk about is over at Jumbo House. We're gonna be talking about Boma. Now, Boma is an absolutely amazing restaurant. There's something special about Boma for me and my family. It's a restaurant that we have been going to our entire lives. I mean, as far back as I could remember, I remember me and my family, I was going to Boma all the time. We've gone countless amounts of times. And you know, it's a special feeling. You know, the best way I could describe it, you know how some people have like their home resort? This is like our home restaurant, you know what I mean? There's just something special about it. It's a feeling that I don't get in any other restaurant. It's absolutely awesome. And on top of that feeling, you know, the service is always great and the buffet selection is spectacular. In my opinion, there are 2 highlights of the buffet: the soup and the desserts. The soups are some of the best soups that you're gonna find on all of Walt Disney World property. My favorite type of soup is lobster bisque, but one specific soup that will always be my absolute favorite is the chicken corn chowder here from Boma. It is on a whole nother level of soups. It is the best soup I've ever had in my life. Trust me when I'm telling you. When you go to Boma and there's chicken corn chowder, give it a try. So depending on what day of the week you go, there'll be different soups lined up. But if there's chicken corn chowder, give it a try. You will not be disappointed. Me and my family, whenever we go, we eat like 20 bowls each. I mean, like if we had the opportunity to get like the entire tub of soup where it's in, just pick it up and take it to our table, we would definitely do that. I mean, it would save us a couple of trips to the buffet. Then you move on to the desserts. The desserts here in Boma are absolutely amazing. And my absolute favorite dessert here, and one of my favorite sweets to get in all of Walt Disney World property, are the zebra domes. Those zebra domes are dangerously good. I mean, you already had like 10 gallons of soup, you had a bunch of food, you're already full, then you reach the zebra domes and you just can't stop eating them. I mean, when I go, I mean, I drink like all the soup, I eat all the food, and then I eat like 10-20 zebra domes. I mean, it's impossible to stop eating in Boma. So if you're in Animal Kingdom Lodge, I mean, you have a hard choice, all right? You have Jiko and Boma right next to each other, and then over at Kidani Village, you have Sanaa. So whichever one that you choose, you will not be disappointed. Now we are off to the Beach Club Resort because we are going to be talking about Cape May Cafe. If you like seafood and you are looking for the absolute best seafood on Walt Disney World property, you need to head to Cape May Cafe. Here I've had the best seafood I've ever had in my life. It's a huge buffet. It has a wide selection of seafood and all of it is absolutely amazing. And whenever I go, I eat about like 1,000 pounds of crab legs, 1,000 pounds of clams. It's like a massacre of seafood in there whenever I go. And it truly is the best seafood on Walt Disney World property. Now, there are other restaurants that I need to go to that have seafood, but as of right now, best seafood on property. Now, the next restaurant that I want to talk about, it's a hidden gem. And what I mean by hidden gem, I literally mean hidden. We're going to be talking about the Turf Club at Saratoga Springs. Now, what I mean by hidden, Turf Club is literally tucked away in a corner of Saratoga Springs where it is almost impossible to find unless you know where you're going. It's like behind everything, down like a super long hallway with like a little tiny sign right outside telling, hey, look, over there's Turf Club. That's basically what it does. I mean, it's really hidden, but once you find it, right, you go through like an entire adventure just to find it. But once you do, you will not be disappointed with the food. Their New York strip is one of the best steaks that I've ever had in Walt Disney World property. The service is always amazing. When my family went last year in December, our server, she was the same server we had 2 years ago when we went in December, And she actually recognized us. Like, she remembered us. She remembered that it was my sister's graduation. She remembered that I ordered Sprite. And we were just talking, having a great time. It's a great restaurant. And on top of all of that, the atmosphere as well. Like I've said before, I absolutely love quiet restaurants where you could have a nice relaxing dinner, talk with your family and all of that. Here in Turf Club, that's exactly what you're going to find. It is a nice restaurant, beautiful decor, and it's also quiet where you could just go, sit down, have a nice conversation with your family, and enjoy your meal. And now we're going to the Contemporary Resort because we're going to be talking about a restaurant that is actually receiving a lot of popularity, and it's in the spotlight for the last couple of years. It's the Wave of American Flavors. Now, the Wave is another family classic for me and my family. For the last like 5-6 years, we went to their Christmas dinner special buffet that they had, but sadly last year we didn't go. They didn't have it. But, you know, me and my family, we wanted to get back to it. We wanted to enjoy it again and just go to regular dinner. So we are going in December. We're actually going for breakfast and for dinner. But the Wave is actually getting a lot of love recently, as it should. The quality of food that you can find here is incredible. I mean, it's high quality, high class food. It's like signature dining level food. And the prices aren't that expensive. I mean, there are other more expensive table service restaurants at Walt Disney World. So you get amazing high class food for a relatively low price. It's a great restaurant, and I'm super excited to give it a try again in December. Now, for the next two restaurants, we are heading off to the most beautiful resort on all of Walt Disney World property, Wilderness Lodge. And at number 8, this restaurant is actually in here because it surprised me in a really good way when I went last year. It's Artist Point. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I went to Artist Point, I actually had very low expectations for it. I wasn't expecting much, but we went in there. Appetizers were really good. The entree was to die for. And that pork shank that we had was absolutely amazing. It was fall off the bone. And I mean fall off the bone, I mean quite literally fall off the bone. I literally just reached in, grabbed the bone, and pulled it out. I mean, that's how fall off the bone it was. You can't get any more fall off the bone than that. It was absolutely amazing. And then, in my opinion, the best part of the entire dining experience, the desserts. That chocolate-shaped ganache that they bring you, oh my god, it is to die for. And also the chocolate mousse disguised as an apple. Everything about the dining experience was actually amazing. I actually loved the restaurant. No, I'm not gonna lie, I went in there, I wasn't expecting to like it, but I ended up loving it. It was an amazing restaurant. And then on top of that, you do have an awesome, vibrant atmosphere to it. Dopey, Grumpy, and Snow White are walking around. They come to your table, they greet you. Meeting Grumpy was absolutely amazing. I mean, meeting the dwarfs at the parks is actually a super rare character interaction. I mean, you could never find them besides, I think, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I think that's the only time you could find them in the parks. So coming here, being able to meet Dopey and Grumpy, it's absolutely amazing. And then the best character interaction that there is meeting the evil queen, right? Your server comes, he gives you like a little piece of paper that says, oh, you're invited to go meet the queen. Like, she invites you to go over there and meet her, which is actually really awesome. You go, you hand over the paper, and then you meet her. It's a lot of fun. The food is great. The atmosphere is awesome. The character interactions are all great. It's a great restaurant, and I do recommend it. Now, the next restaurant that I want to talk about, it's actually not that far from Artist Point. I mean, it's like they're right next to each other. It's Whispering Canyon. Now, here in Whispering Canyon, me and my family, we went. We had high expectations for it. We heard great things, and the food did live up to the expectation. It was absolutely amazing. The only problem that we had with the restaurant was that our server, she kind of didn't let us order the food that we wanted. I mean, okay, so in Whispering Canyon, you have these skillets, right? All you care to enjoy skillets, and there are 4 different ones. We wanted those things. We only wanted 2, but the server, she kind of just went with it. She's like, don't worry, I got you guys. And she started bringing food that we necessarily didn't want. I mean, that kind of threw us off majorly, but the food is great. The atmosphere is great. I absolutely love it. I mean, you get views of the lobby of Wilderness Lodge, which is absolutely awesome. Now, there's only one thing that I wish I could have changed about the dining experience. It was, you know, I wish we could have ordered the food that we wanted and only gotten the food that we wanted. But besides that, I think when I go back and I actually do order the food that I want, I do think Whispering Canyon will deserve its spot here on the list. It almost already does. I'm putting it because I do expect to have an even better dining experience the next time I go, and it deserves to be here, really. Now, the next restaurant that I do want to talk about, it's right next to Wilderness Lodge. We're heading off to Fort Wilderness because we're going to be talking about Trails End. Now, Trails End is another family classic for me and my family. It is absolutely amazing. It's southern comfort food, you know, ribs, fried chicken, things like that. and it's a buffet. It's all you care to enjoy, and it's actually the cheapest buffet that there is on Walt Disney World property. So you get awesome, amazing Southern comfort food, all you care to enjoy for less than $40. It is definitely worth it. It's absolutely amazing. Now, me and family, we haven't been back in a couple of years, but I really hope that we get to go again soon, because it's absolutely amazing. And now the last restaurant on my list, we're staying in the Magic Kingdom Resort area. We're off to the Grand Floridian because we're going to be talking about Narcoossee's. Narcoossee's is an absolutely amazing signature dining location on Walt Disney World property. You have an amazing waterfront view of Magic Kingdom. It is absolutely awesome. When me and my family went, we actually sat right next to a window and we saw the fireworks from Narcoossee's. It was absolutely amazing. And the food was great as well. The calamari, one of the best calamaris I've ever had in my life. The lobster that we got was the best lobster I've ever had in my life. Everything about it was absolutely amazing. Just one thing to keep in mind, Narcoossee's is actually a very expensive restaurant, but if you're looking for an amazing high-end restaurant and you're just looking to indulge yourself a little bit, check out Narcoossee's. You won't be disappointed. Now, that does it for my list, and some of you might be thinking, wait a minute, there's a really big omission from your list. I mean, it's one of the most popular restaurants in Walt Disney World. Everyone talks wonders about it. Where's Ohana? Now, Ohana, you see, Ohana is another family classic for me and my family. We've gone to it for many years. As far back as I can remember, we've been going to Ohana. I mean, it's one of the oldest restaurants that me and my family have been going to. And I feel like over the past couple of years, the food quality has actually been going drastically down in Ohana. Now, I don't know. I guess the popular it gets, the lower the food quality is. I don't know what it is, but I do feel like the food quality has been going down, and the service in Ohana is always iffy. I mean, sometimes you get rushed. Sometimes the server doesn't appear for like 30 minutes. The service in Ohana has always been iffy and so-so. And now that the food quality is going down, it just slips out of my list of best restaurants, and it kind of does depress me because I love Ohana. I mean, Ohana's in one of my favorite restaurants. It has amazing views of Magic Kingdom. It has a lot of potential, but it's just been going down in quality. And I guess to a point where me and my mom, last year when we went in April, we had a terrible dining experience. I mean, absolutely horrendous. If that was the first time I've ever gone to Ohana, if that would have been the first time, I would never go back after that dining experience. It was that bad. So, you know, it's been going down, and I don't feel like it deserves to be in this list with some of the restaurants that we have listed. And there are other restaurants that me and my family we're going to be trying in December that I feel like will definitely make it into my list. Some of them, you know, Il Molino, Shula Steakhouse, Topolino's Terrace, Olivia's Cafe, restaurants like that we're going. I've heard amazing things about them, and I do think that they're going to make it to my already extensive list. I'm sorry, Ohana just doesn't belong. Well, let me know in the comments below what you think about my list and whether or not I left out any of your favorites. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, smash that like button and hit subscribe. I upload a brand new video every Wednesday. Thank you for being part of the Disney family, and see you real soon.